Hi children, this is Prasad, Maths faculty of Sri Chaitanya Techno Schools. Today we are going to learn an important topic, coordinate geometry. I am explaining the concepts of this coordinate geometry taken from AP, Telangana and CBSE class 10th, and it is also there in our prestigious programs Techno, C-Batch, Icon and IPL for the classes 7th, 8th, 9th up to IIT level. It is also very useful for the prestigious exams IITG mains and advance also. Now let us see the concept of the coordinate geometry. Before going to that, children, we have studied the properties of the geometrical figures in the chapter of the plane geometry. Suppose if you wish to find the length of the side of the any polygon like triangle, quadrilateral, or if you wish to find the angle between the two sides of the polygon or in a triangle without using any equipment, is it possible? It is possible if you determine the position of the point P. To determine the position of the point P, there is a branch in maths called analytical geometry or coordinate geometry. It was introduced by a French scientist, René Descartes. He is known as father of coordinate geometry. Let us see how the point is determined. Before going to how the point is determined, we have to take two intersecting lines and their intersection point is called origin. Those two are coordinate axes. The intersecting lines are coordinate axes. Suppose if the angle between the coordinate axis is 90 degrees, then it is called, that system is called rectangular coordinate system. Children, two more systems also there, but here in this chapter we followed only rectangular coordinate system. What are those two remaining? Suppose if the angle between the two axes not equal to 90 degrees, oblique angle is there, then it is called oblique coordinate system. And another system, polar coordinate system. In higher classes you will see those two remaining to oblique and polar coordinate system. Now let us see in rectangular coordinate system what are the axes. This rectangular coordinate system is also known as Cartesian system. Why? Because of, according to name of the René Descartes, this system is also known as Cartesian system. Now how the point P is determined in this plane? Definitely, to determine the position of any point we need a reference frame. Here this system is acted as the reference frame. Here this system consists of two intersecting lines and intersecting point of these two lines is origin. It is denoted by O, and the line which is horizontal is called x-axis and the line which is vertical is called y-axis. Now OX is nothing but positive x-axis, OX dash is nothing but negative x-axis. That means from the origin, if you go to the right side we will get the positive values, from the origin if you go to the left side we will get the negative values. In the similar way, OY denotes the positive y-axis, OY dash denotes the negative y-axis. Because of from origin if you go above the line, then all are nothing but positive numbers, and if you go below the origin then we will get negative numbers. So that this is called negative y-axis. And after that, generally we are using ordered pairs for denoting the point P. What is meant by ordered pair? Ordered pair is nothing but two components are arranged in a systematic order, separated by them commas and enclosed them in a parenthesis bracket. it is nothing but an ordered pair. Ordered pairs are using for denoting the point, and what it represents, the first coordinate, what it represents, the first coordinate of the point P represents a distance of that point P from the y axis, and the second coordinate represents, it is the distance of the point P from the x axis. And if you find the distance of the point P from the y axis, it is called as the x coordinate. Here I am representing that is as a x. X is x coordinate, or we can call it as another name abscissa. And if you find the distance between the point and the x axis, it is nothing but y coordinate. We can call y coordinate as ordinate also. Okay children, and this is the way to determine the position of the point P, x comma y. Again, this is the coordinate system or Cartesian system. In this Cartesian system, if you wish to determine the point P, we have to use the ordered pair, and in that the first one is x coordinate, second one is y coordinate. Children, finally we have to understand the meaning of the coordinate geometry and what is the need of the coordinate geometry as a branch of the mathematics, because of coordinate geometry is nothing but of the geometrical problems are solved with the help of the algebra. That is why algebra plus plane geometry is nothing but analytical geometry. The analysis of the geometrical figures or properties of the geometrical figures with the help of the algebra is nothing but analytical geometry. Children, in this chapter we are going to learn three important points, that is distance between two points and its applications, and section formula and its applications, and after that area of the. Children, let us see very important point, distance between two points. Suppose two points P x1 y1, Q x2 y2 are given in xy plane, and how to find its distance without using any equipment. The distance is given by this formula, square root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square, if you know the coordinates of the point P and Q. Let us see the proof of this result. This is the xy coordinate system. O is the origin, P x1 y1 is one point. I locate Q x2 y2 here, this is another point, join P and Q, and also draw a perpendicular from P to the x axis. Let that point be A on x axis. Similarly, draw the perpendicular line to the x axis from point Q. It meets the x axis at B. Okay children, now again draw the line through P perpendicular to PB, QB, not PB, sorry, QB, and let that point be R, where R is a point on QB. Again children, P, Q are the given points. Now we have to draw the perpendicular from point P to the x axis, and we have to draw the perpendicular from point Q to the x axis. Let those points be on x axis A comma B, and R is a point on QB such that PR is perpendicular to QB. Now after this, what do you understand? According to the definition of the coordinates of the point P x1 y1, what is x1 here? OA is equals to x1. And what is OB? OB is equals to x2. I am going to apply Pythagoras theorem on PQR triangle, so that I need to find AB, which is equal to PR. So that I have to find AB value. What is AB? AB is equal to, see the diagram, OB minus OA. Okay children. Now what is OB value? X2. What is OA value? X1. Therefore finally what is AB? AB is nothing but x2 minus x1. And if you observe, PRBA is a rectangle. Therefore, opposite sides are equal. AB is equal to PR. Finally, AB is equal to PR is equals to x2 minus x1. Okay children. Now come to the AP. What is the value of the AP in terms of the coordinates of the point P? y1. AP is equals to y1. And what is BQ here? BQ is nothing but y2. Clearly we have that knowledge. Now QR need to find there. What is QR? QR is equals to QB minus BR. QB minus BR. And we can replace this BR with AP or PA because of again the same reason, AB RP is a rectangle. Now if you replace BR with AP, what do you get? QR is equals to BQ minus PA, which is equal to y2 minus y1. Because of BQ value is y2, AP value is y1. Therefore, QR is equal to y2 minus y1. Children, we are going to use these two results now in triangle PQR. See triangle PQR, which are known. QR is known, PR is known, and also it is a right angle triangle. The right angle is at R. So that by Pythagoras theorem we have one result, that is PQ square is equal to PR square plus RQ square. And what is PR square? PR square is nothing but x2 minus x1 whole square plus QR is nothing but y2 minus y1 whole square. Therefore, PQ is equal to square root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. That means if you know the coordinates of the 2 points, then you can able to find its distance in terms of the coordinates of the given points. Did you understand the children? Children, let us see some applications of the distance formula. Among those, the first one is, if 3 points are given, A, B, C are given, and need to prove those are collinear, then mod AB plus or minus mod BC plus or minus is equal to mod AC. Mod AB plus or minus mod BC is equal to mod AC. And what is meant by collinear? Collinear means if 3 points, if 3 or more points also can take, if 3 or more points on the same line, then those points are called collinear points. Here, to prove these 3 are collinear points using distance formula, here we may get 3 cases like this. See the first case, here A, B, C are on the same line, but B is the middle of A and C. Here C is in between A and B. Here A is in between B and C. Now from this, what do you get? Distance. You can find the distance between the AB, you can find the distance between the BC, and AB plus BC is nothing but AC. And in this case, AC plus CB is equal to AB. In this case, AB plus AC is equal to BC. In these 3 cases, we can prove ABC are collinear, not in order. ABC are lying on the same line. That's why modulus of AB. Modulus of AB means plus or minus AB plus or minus BC is equals to plus or minus AC. We will get it. We don't know which length is more, which is lesser. We don't know. That's why need to keep modulus here. Okay, children, did you understand? Now, the second point. If A, B, C are 3 points are given. Now, if you need to prove this is as equilateral triangle. If it is equilateral triangle, if these 3 vertices forms the equilateral triangle, then we need to prove AB is equal to BC is equal to CA. That means all sides are equal in equilateral triangle. According to the definition of the equilateral triangle, we know that. Scalene triangle. What is meant by scalene triangle? And all sides are not equal. That means we need to prove AB not equal to BC not equal to CA. You may get some problems. 3 vertices are given and prove the given triangle is not equilateral triangle, is equilateral triangle, like that we may get some problems. That is why you need to remember, if 3 points are given to show equilateral triangle, what you have to do using the distance formula, we have to know it. So that scalene triangle. After that, isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangle means if two of the sides are equal in a triangle, then it is nothing but isosceles triangle. So that we can prove AB is equal to BC, or BC is equal to CA, or CA equals to AB. We don't know which two sides are equal, so that we have to find lengths of the three sides. If two of them are equal, then it is nothing but proof of the isosceles triangle. We can say triangle ABC is isosceles. Come to the last one, right angle triangle. We can use the Pythagoras theorem. What it says, Pythagoras theorem is nothing but the square of the hypotenuse is equal to sum of the squares of the remaining two sides. We don't know what is hypotenuse there, that's why we can get either of these three. AB square plus BC square is equal to AC square, or AC square plus BC square is equal to AB square, or AB square plus AC square is equal to BC square. And if any one of these three cases is true, then it is a right angle triangle. So that need to check out all the three cases to prove the given one is the right angle. Okay children, now come to, this is very important. Here triangle ABC is a triangle. Now how to find A is acute or A is obtuse, B is acute or B is obtuse, C is acute or C is obtuse. How to find? Using distance formula. There is a rule, that is, if A is acute, we have to find first AB, BC, AC, and after that take the squares of those sides. Then if it is true BC square is less than AB square plus AC square, the angle opposite to BC, that is A, is acute. If BC square is greater than AB square plus AC square, then the angle opposite to BC is obtuse. Children, this is very important point to prove the given angle is acute or obtuse. Suppose B is, if you wish to prove B is acute angle, what need to prove there? I have to prove that AC square is less than BC square plus AB square. Suppose if B is obtuse, what need to prove? AC square is greater than AB square plus BC square. Okay children, suppose if C is acute, what we have to prove? Using the distance formula, AB square is less than BC square plus AC square. If C is obtuse, and what need to prove? AB square is greater than BC square plus AC square. And if equal to holds good, already you see that is in right angle triangle. If equal to holds good, BC square is equal to AB square plus AC square, then we can decide the side the angle opposite to the side BC is right angle triangle. So that by using the distance formula, we can find the given angle is acute, obtuse or right angle triangle. Okay children, this is another important application of the distance formula. Here 4 points are given: A x1 y1, B x2 y2, C x3 y3, D x4 y4, and these are not collinear. And how to prove? The given 4 points in order form a square. To prove that here ABCD is a square, we need to prove ABCD is a square. How to prove it? According to the definition of the square, we know that all sides are equal. Therefore, if you prove AB equals to BC equals to CD equals to DA, and also diagonal lengths also equal in a square. And what are the diagonals in ABCD? See there, this is ABCD. To prove ABCD as a square, we have to prove that AB equals to BC equals to CD equals to DA, and also BD and AC also equal. If you prove these 4 results and these 2, and it is nothing but a square. ABCD is nothing but a square. Next come to the rhombus. In rhombus, what is the definition of the rhombus? In rhombus, all sides are equal and diagonals are not equal. So that AB is equals to BC is equals to CD equals to DA, and diagonals are not equal. Precisely prove ABCD is a rhombus, then we have to go like this: AB equals to BC equals to CD equals to DA, and AC not equal to BD. Suppose to prove ABCD precisely a rectangle, then we need to prove AB equals to CD. That means opposite sides are equal. AB equals to CD and AD equals to BC, and also lengths of the diagonals also equal. BD is equals to AC. Therefore, precisely to prove the given ABCD is a parallelogram, we have to prove that AB is equals to CD and BC is equal to AD and AC not equal to BD. In a parallelogram, the diagonal lengths are not equal, need not be equal. So that in a parallelogram, AB is equals to CD, if BC equals to AD and AC not equal to BD, then the given ABCD is a parallelogram precisely. Okay children? Children, next important concept of the coordinate geometry is section formula. If Px comma y divides the line segment AB, line segment joining the points Ax1 y1, Bx2 y2 internally, that means P lies in between A and B, that is the meaning of the internally, in the ratio of the m:n, then what are the coordinates of the P? Here x gives mx2 plus nx1 by m plus n, y is equal to my2 plus ny1 by m plus n. That means we can express the coordinates of the P in terms of coordinates of the A and B and ratio m is to n. Okay children, here line segment is given, and if you want to find any point in between them, if you know the ratio which divides that point divides in which ratio, then automatically you can find the coordinates of the point P. And come to the second point. If Px comma y divides the line joining, here A and B are the points, and these two, if you join these two, it gives a unique line, and externally means P beyond A and B, not in between A and B, beyond B or beyond A, not in between A and B, that is nothing but external division. If P does not lie in between A and B, that is nothing but external. In the ratio of the m is to n, then what is x? X is equal to mx2 minus nx1 by m minus n, y is equals to my2 minus ny1 by m minus n. These are nothing but the coordinates of the point P. Children, now we are going to learn the important definition of the internal division of the section formula. Now what are given there? A x1 y1 is given, B x2 y2 is given. We need to find the coordinates of the point P which divides AB internally in the ratio of the m is to n. That is AP is to PB equals to m by n. A x1 y1, B x2 y2, Px comma y. And from this diagram, what do you understand? A1 is the perpendicular to the x-axis, A1 is the point on the x-axis, and P1 is a point on the x-axis, and PP1 is perpendicular to the x-axis. B1 is a point on the x-axis, and BB1 is perpendicular to the x-axis. Now also we can observe that OA1 is equal to x1 and OP1 is equal to x. And what is A1 P1 value? This A1 P1 value is equal to AQ. And what is AQ? AQ is equal to x minus x1. And also OP1 is equal to x and OB1 is equal to x2. Now what is B1 P1 value? B1 P1 value is equal to, it is equal to PR, because of it is a rectangle. PR B1 P1 is a rectangle which is equal to x2 minus x. Now come to what is AA1? AA1 is nothing but y1, y coordinate of the point A. What is PP1? PP1 is nothing but the y coordinate of the point P, that is y. Now what is PQ value? PQ is nothing but PP1 minus P1Q. This P1Q is nothing but AA1. Therefore finally its value is equal to y minus y1. Therefore PQ value is equal to y minus y1. Similarly, what is BB1? y2. What is PP1? y. And what is BR value? This BR is nothing but BB1 minus PP1, which is equal to B1R, because of it forms a rectangle Therefore, its value is equal to y2 minus y. Using these 1, 2, 3, 4 relations, we can find x and y value in terms of x1, y1, x2, y2 and mn. Now, clearly we can observe that these two triangles APQ and PBR are similar by the AA similarity. Now, we have corresponding sides are in the same ratio. Corresponding AP by BP is equal to AP by BP is equal to AQ by PR is equal to PQ by BR. Now, from 1, 2, 3, 4, what do you get? M by n is equal to x minus x1 by x2 minus x is equal to y minus y1 by y2 minus y. Individually, if you write like this, then we will get x value from this relation by doing the simplification. By the cross multiplication, what do you get there? Mx2 minus mx is equal to nx minus nx1, and transpose this x term to this side, then we will get m plus n into x is equal to mx2 plus nx1. Therefore, make x as a subject, mx2 plus nx1 by m plus n. Okay, children, we get the coordinate of the x coordinate of the P as mx2 plus nx1 by m plus n. Now, come to the use the second relation, m by n is equals to y minus y1 by y2 minus y. Therefore, again cross multiplication, m into y2 minus y equals to n into y minus y1. Therefore, my2 plus ny1 equals to m plus n into y. Make y as a subject, my2 plus ny1 by m plus n. Therefore, finally, we get the coordinates of the point P. Similarly, we can do the proof for the external division formula.